Hello. Oh. Hi, Miss Knowles. Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I don't have a phone today. Yeah. I see a lot of y'all ain't getting homework from. What happened?
Okay, what my question am I looking for? What
Look
my
here,
answer
that
I'm
was a
looking
lot of
for?
reading
That's great.
and
At
going
least
back and going
read.
back and going back and going back and going back. Like, what the heck?
Great. At least
It
I
was
got
so
to
much
read.
to read. It wasn't so much the reading, but you have to go back to just reread to make sure. Yeah, this
So
question.
y'all shouldn't have no issue in time for y'all finals.
We're gonna see when you send me my grade. I have to go and reread.
I'll send y'all your grade before the midterm, before the finals. Because the only thing y'all will have
Okay,
is
thank you.
the only thing I'll have is the actual final grade to put in. Yeah. Miss Burrows, you traveling when?
I know it's for Easter, but I have to check to see when is the exact date. But I think it's that I'll be gone the week before the exam.
Okay.
Yeah. Good day,
So
everybody.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna take the exam whilst you're there before you go. What you gonna do?
I don't know. I guess I mean I could take it on the same day as everyone else.
Okay.
I don't have a problem. Yeah, I'll be able to take it while I'm there. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because like I say, grades have to be in at a certain time, and that's why my exam is on the actual last day of class. So grades have to be in by a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So make sure you all have your assignment to me.
That's the 19th, right?
Pardon me?
The final exam is on the 19th, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And, so I need to get
I just
everybody.
have to confirm with Miguel that my other exam is on the same day, so I'll have to reschedule the other class.
Well, I guess he could do one early and one late. He could do yours before, mine's before. No matter.
I don't need that exam on the same day.
You can find more, right?
Okay. Alrighty.
Miss
Do I
Smith,
can
what you trying
share?
to-
Okay. Yeah. So we have one more chapter, and that's chapter 11, right? So y'all have enough
Yes,
time
ma'am.
to go over y'all stuff because only chapter 11 left, and that's what we're going to do tonight. Because exam is not next week, but the following week. So y'all have enough time to go over chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to do. Yeah.
So we getting assignments for chapter 10 and 11? Just to
No,
help.
ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm going to send y'all a review sheet. I can send y'all a review sheet.
Okay.
Yeah. So y'all will have that too. It will incorporate whatever y'all had for assignments, but
Yeah.
I will add the chapter 10 and 11 to it. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so tonight is pension plan. I know most of you are familiar with pension plan, and I know that some companies, like I say, I've learned recently that some companies don't have a pension plan. They don't have a medical plan. So it is not mandatory in our country. It's not mandatory to have you don't have to have a pension, nor do you have to have health. You don't have to offer neither of these to your employees. So for persons who don't have it, I always say they need to. You could imagine working for a company for 12 years and you don't have a pension plan or a health plan. That is kind of, and then people don't actually have their own pension plan. They don't even do that, Yeah. So all of you have pension plans at your company where you work?
I do.
I do.
Okay. All right.
We have pension plans too at Scotia.
Okay. Yeah. But some smaller companies don't have it. Yeah, they don't have it. Yeah. Some small companies do not have it. Who all ain't send my assignment now? Let's see.
The day ain't over yet.
I haven't sent it back yet.
I
don't know.
business.
My scanner giving me issues, so I may have to take a photo and then I don't know.
Well, don't be taking no photos, sending me no photo. Yeah.
Ooh, child. I don't know.
Send
Oh, I'll
me
have to
food.
break it down. I don't know. But send it in a Word document, maybe. I don't know. That's more work.
That's how I want it. Cause see, when y'all send it in a Word document, it's easy for me to mark. And I
Okay.
don't have
Okay,
to
I can do
print
that.
it. I
I'll
don't
do
have
that.
to print it off because everybody who send me PDF, I have to print off, or I have to sit here and go through each question and write your
Okay.
name on the paper and then put your grades. It's like, no, I prefer that Word. That's why I send y'all it in that Word, so y'all could send me back in Word. So I mark it right off the computer. Right on the computer,
Okay.
I mark it and send it back to you.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
Well, I know now I scanned it to you. I print off the paper.
I know, I see most of y'all scan it. I saw it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Miss Smith, you didn't send the other assignment though for chapter 9.
What I'm saying. 9. I ain't giving you all
Yeah.
no 9.
No?
I give you all.
Oh, I thought you
What I
said
give you all?
you give us 6, 7, 8. You say you was gonna send us 9.
No, I say I'll give you all a review sheet, which will incorporate 9 and 10 and 11.
Okay. Oh, okay then.
Yeah. And then y'all have a whole week because y'all ain't have no class next week. Because this is the last chapter. So y'all have a whole week to study.
That sounds so awesome. I have a busy week next week.
Oh, that's
So
a
y'all
lot.
can
Oh,
start looking at
okay.
chapter, all them questions I give you all for chapter 6, 7, and 8. And like I say, I'll have 9 and 10. I'll have the full review sheet for y'all this by before the weekend. Yeah, because I also have to send one for business or banking. Yeah, so I'll have it before the weekend. Yeah. So pension plan. An employee sponsors arrangement established with the primary goals of systematically providing retirement income for employees. Yes, most companies do, like I said, some companies don't. What would you do if you work for a company? In your interview, you ask do you have a pension plan? Do you have a health plan? And if they say to you they don't have a health plan, they don't have a pension plan, what would you do?
I would weigh my options because if they don't have it, then I have to figure out how to get it, what the payments are gonna be like, because you do need, hindsight is 2020 when you look back, people are gonna need that pension because NIB don't give you anything.
They don't give you nothing.
Yeah, so when you're looking at the health and they don't have that, you have to also look at that because you might have a little savings. That savings can be wiped out in one doctor visit. So you have to figure out, okay, what can I do and how can I get this? So that salary is gonna have to be able to commence me having the ability to fund my own pension, my own, yeah.
Agreed. And some people don't look at it that way, because like I say, I know a company where a person's been there for years and they don't have a pension plan nor health plan and they still there. So I don't know. Yeah. Define contribution pension. Employees' annual contribution to the pension is specified the exact amount of the eventual retirement benefits left undetermined until each person's retired. So we know in most companies, we put a certain amount, a certain percentage. Ms. Knowles, what is your percentage at Commonwealth Bank?
I forget. Because I make additional, I just don't pay attention.
Yeah, because I know where I used to work, where I worked, it was you can contribute 5% and then you can also put another 5% because you can do a voluntary one where that one is yours, so you can take money from it whenever you choose to. And then the bank only would match that 5%, or the company would only match the 5% that you put in, but they won't match the voluntary contribution that you put in. Because like people, when you put in the voluntary contribution, that means it's like a savings. And if you want to take money out of it, I guess you do the same thing as giving a month's notice, and you're able to withdraw from that voluntary pension plan. Yeah.
They also have a period of time when you can put a lump sum in too.
Or your company.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Contribution will be invested during the employee's work career. Pension amount will depend on the level of your year contribution and on the investment returned earned on the contribution. Many employees favor these plans because it's easier to budget the defined costs involved. Many employees prefer knowing the value of their account throughout their working years. Also, employees who anticipate changing jobs several times in their career prefer these plans because accumulated amounts are usually easily cashed out or rolled over to a new employer. I don't know if we have that kind of a plan where, but I don't know, because I've worked, I retired from 2 places. I left. I took my well, when I worked at Finco, they didn't have, like, you could have contribute or you didn't have to. If you didn't contribute, you, as long as you stayed to the company until you was 55, you would get a pension. But a lot of people don't stay till that time. And also, if you did, I know somebody who told me that I think they contributed, and so they stayed for the number of years that they say they had to stay. So when they reach 55, they're able to get their pension benefit from RBC because they stayed the number of years that RBC said they had to stay, and they left, I think 3 years ago. So now when they turn 55 next year, they're able to get their pension from RBC, even though they didn't contribute it. Cash balance pension. The cash balance plan is utilized to address perceived problems with the other pension structures. Many employees find that defined benefit pension difficult to understand. Employees cannot see the dollar value of their accounts in a traditional defined benefits arrangement. Traditionally, defined benefit plans are most valuable to employees working 30 or 35 years. For some employees, most prevalent situation in today's working environment is for an employee to work for several employers over the course of their careers. And like I say, I don't know if, I know when I worked at Fidelity, their plan was with at Royal Fidelity. And I guess if you work to another company who also have their pension benefits at Royal Fidelity, I guess you can just, you keep that same amount and just put it into that same plan if you choose to, instead of closing it out. Ms. Knowles, do you know where your pension plan is?
Yes, Atlantic Medical. I mean, no, Kalina. Sorry, Kalina.
Kalina, see file then.
Yeah, pension plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I guess if you was to leave this job and go to another job, as long as they have their pension plan with C-File, I guess it's easy to roll. If you want to roll some into your new job plan, I guess it would be acceptable. Cash balance pension. Participants in a defined contribution plan may be uncertain as to whether they will have sufficient funds to provide themselves with an adequate pension. Investment earnings influences the ultimate size of the defined contribution pension fund. No guarantees can be made about how large this fund will be at retirement due to the uncertainties about the performance of the securities market over many years. This uncertainty is reduced with cash balance plan due to the guaranteed minimum returns. Like I say, for me, because I was older, I never invest in risky securities. I would always say, because at the beginning, the end of the year, when I was at Fidelity, they would say, send out a sheet, ask if you want to change your, your securities, change whether you want to put it in high risk, medium, low, or fixed. I always put it in fixed because I'm older. Younger persons could take the chance and put their pension investment into high risk because they have a lot of years to go, so they could put it in high risk. So, and then putting it at high risk when the securities really pay out big, then they have a larger pension, and because they may not make as much as I would have, but because they invested in a more riskier securities, they're able to probably still have more in their pension than me because they invested in something more riskier, which gave them a higher return. So higher the risk and higher the return. What about Miss Brown Knowles? Um, your in your pension, do you invest in risky securities, or you have a fix, or do they ask you?
No, ma'am. I work for government, so our pension, I believe, I'm not even sure about our pension plan. I haven't really asked questions because it takes us so long to be permanent and pensionable. I really got that out of my head and I started making provisions of my own.
Agreed. That's good. That's good. Yeah. And that's what I would say. Like, even with me retiring from the bank, I try to still put what I would have been putting when I was there, adding it to my pension plan. Plan qualification. The qualification rules for pension plans were established in 1974 by the landmark Employee Retirement Income Security, ERISA. Many changes have occurred since the original passage, with each new tax laws making several adjustments in the qualification rule. Generally, the rules for pension plans are more extensive than for the other benefits due to the sizable dollar amount involved, the magnitude of the tax advantage granted, and the overall importance of pension to individual risk management plan. So like I say, well, we don't get tax on our pension plan, so we should be good. Does anybody do regular checks of what they have in pension?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Can you give me a second, please, Miss Brown Knowles? Can you continue to read for me, please? Just give me a second. Eligibility.
Okay, sure. Employees must be eligible. Employees must establish eligibility standards for participation in pension plans. Employers do not have to use the same eligibility rules as used for other benefit programs. Many employers have stricter eligibility requirements for pension plan participation. It is not unusual to exclude part-time personnel and those working in specific job classification. Many employers also use both minimum age and minimum service requirements. In establishing pension eligibility rules, employers are particularly constrained by qualification rules designed to eliminate the favoring of very highly paid employees. Generally, they establish two categories of workers: highly compensated workers, non-highly compensated. If participation is not sufficient in this group, then the pension plan may lose its qualified status. Although employers are relatively free with other benefits to establish whether logical eligibility requirements may be desired, their choice with respect to pension plan are more limited. For example, the qualification rules prohibit use of a minimum age requirement exceeding age 21 or a minimum service requirement of more than a year.
Where did you stop
Retirement.
me?
I read the whole eligibility.
Okay.
What?
Any questions, any concerns about that section? Anyone? Or anything you want to add?
I have a question. It's not really pertaining to that,
Mhm.
but can
Okay.
an institution hold your pension as collateral?
Oh, trust me, all of them do that. It is illegal to do it.
That's what I want to
And
know.
when
Is
I
it
first
legal?
went to the company, my last company that I worked, I remember my former boss giving me a copy to show me that it's illegal for them to hold my pension. And when you get a loan, that's what they always just put as collateral. They holding your
Right, because
pension, but that's illegal. You can't hold somebody's pension. But because a lot of people don't know, I know several staff who had loans, when they left to bank take their money and pay off their loans, some of them ain't leave with nothing.
but I
Yeah.
can put the bank in court if they do that. But I mean, they don't have my pension, but they put a notice out that now they holding pension for collateral. But
Yeah,
I know within myself it's illegal. And then
it
they
is.
tried it the other day. So what they do is they don't put it on the promissory note. They have like something for you to sign. Right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So what I noticed they did the other day, they tried it with the police. And then they had to, when I looked, the loan came back and they had to take that off.
Yeah.
So that's what
Because that's
confirmed
why I
to
say,
me.
yeah, because I say that there are a lot of companies where I work, that's what they used to do too. But I say if I left and owe them something and they talk, but they're taking it from my pension
I'll
without me
sue the
saying,
hell out
no,
of them.
did you take it?
Jesus.
I
Listen
would,
to me. I would let them pay the whole loan off and put them in court.
You know, your pension is not, if government tells the government workers that their pension is not assignable, it's also stated for private sector, but the private sector, a lot of us don't, well, a lot of them don't know that. Because we had a co-worker who left, when I talk about, she'd been with the company for all them years, and she was going on to another job, paying more, but they took her whole pension and paid, she left, because she didn't have to start work for another like 4 or 6 weeks. She was left with nothing, nothing to buy food, whatever.
Wow.
She sat there, she tell them, she let her lawyer write up something and send it to the bank. Next thing we know, they called us, and y'all have to reverse that.
Thank
Reverse?
you.
I say no, no reverse.
Thank you. They have to do that.
No, I was gonna send them with a court order reverse. I don't want that. And I couldn't leave for 6 weeks.
They have to do that. Yeah, they have to
me
do,
too.
they have to. But a lot of people don't know that. So a lot of people just sit there and let them take their pension. Because like I say, I know several persons who really didn't have much and they had a car loan. Man, the bank take their money. I look, people ain't going on with nothing. And that's why I say a lot of people don't know that in the banks and in the private sector. You hold my pension, okay, take my money and talk, but you paying off my loan and ain't giving me nothing. I know somebody told them that she had a loan with the bank, and when they let her go, she say, touch my pension. Y'all will know. My lawyer will be talking to y'all. And they didn't touch her pension. And she had a car. I think she got a car or something. They didn't touch her pension.
So they can't even touch their portion. They can touch their portion, right?
They can't touch their portion, especially because even if you're not fully vested, you still say they say being vested is 10 years, but I leave in at
It'll be
9.
5.
I still get a certain amount of that pension from them. A certain amount of that is still mine. A certain percentage, be it 80%, is still mine. It won't be the full 100, but the 80% or more is still mine.
Mhm.
Yeah, but a lot of persons don't know that. And so people who really know in the private sector that, hey, I don't, you can't take my money. People who know, but there are persons who don't know. So if you don't know, well, it happens. And the bank will take your money. And like I say, I've seen persons who gone home with nothing.
I tell them I wouldn't rewrite my loan if they pay me. But if I rewrite that and they let me go, they can get a letter.
Yeah, but that's what they do. And for persons who don't know, like I say, they walk away with nothing. Like Miss Knowles, Miss Colette Knowles said, they walk away with nothing. The young lady walked away with nothing, but she fixed them, and they had to eventually reverse it. Yeah, because the banks are not. You cannot hold. That's illegal. You cannot hold anybody pension for a loan. You can't do that. But you look at all of them.
Scotiabank is famous. They do pay off your loans. And Scotiabank is famous for that. They do pay off your loans as an employee and then try to give you the balance.
Yeah, but so I say, because for people who don't know that you can actually go to the lawyer for them. And like I say, when I first joined the bank, my former boss, she gave me a copy to show me that the bank, it is illegal for the bank to hold, so they could have never touched our pension document, but they could take our money. She gave me a copy of that to show that they can't hold your pension. And even if they hold it, at the end of the day and you leave and they talk, but they taking your money, you can take them to court because it's illegal. And it is illegal. So they can't, they really can't hold your pension. But
They'll
like I
need me
say,
America after I finish with them.
Pardon me?
They'll need me America after I finish with them.
Yeah, that's how it is. Where did you stop, Miss Brown Knowles?
I am on retirement age.
Okay. Okay, I'll go. Retirement age. After the normal retirement age is classified as late retirement. As we know here, like I say, some places people work. I think where I worked at the bank, somebody's, I saw her wait till she was 70, 80. And I know people who still there who work. I mean, it's people that just don't want, they don't have a problem working that late. And see, with national insurance, if you work, say you like people who retire early, they only get 60, like how I retired early, I would only get 65% of what is due to me. Persons who work till they 66, they get 100 plus, I think 7% added to what they would get because they retired later. I know College of the Bahamas, their lecturers, and I'm not sure if the administrative staff can work till they 70, but you can work till you 70. Why should I work till I 70, get no benefits, and then I croak at 70? And what happens to my NIB at that point? I've never heard, like I've heard where spouses can get survivors benefits, but I'm 70. Why would I want to stay on a job till I'm 70? I don't mind if I say I'm doing a little teaching job or a little contract job or something. That's fine, because guess what? I am not paying no national insurance because I am contract or just doing this part-time job, so I'm not paying no national insurance. That's fine. But for somebody who continues to pay national insurance to go onto the people's job and do work, hey, I think it's really rough. Would any of you stay until you're 70 on a job?
I'm trying to leave right now.
No, I won't be like you.
Child, I'm gonna be going too. I don't even know.
Yeah. Let me tell you, at the end of the day, I've seen so much people who I went to school with. Every time I look in my chat group, they'll say, oh, so-and-so died, so-and-so died. And you know, to when I left the bank, a lot of people say, boy, Andrea, I see why you say you better take early retirement, because guess what? At the end of the day, you get nothing. You see so much people dying, and you be like, what you get? Nothing. You ain't not nobody getting no money from national insurance. So all the money you invested in national insurance, who's getting it? Nobody, you know? And like I say, what is your life if you could only just your whole total life is just totally dedicated to just working? Like I say, I still work, but I work a 4-hour job and I work from home. And so I could do that 4-hour job. I could do 2 hours in the morning. I could do 2 hours in the night. Or I could just, like, a lot of times I go to bed early, so I would wake up around 12 o'clock and I would just work. So I'm putting in my time. So I'm not restricted to say, oh, I have to clock in or whatever. I work from home. And then when I teach at nights, it's just teaching you, and that's it. So I have a lot of free time. And like I say, I don't mind that. But like I say, people who still want to be on a job, that's kind of rough, you know? Yeah. 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 But like I say here, people stay to work for a very long time. Yeah. Yeah. People stay to work for a very long time. Yeah. Before 1986, many employers were able. No, honey, excuse me. Honey, you have to go to your daddy. Nanny's teaching. Or you have to lay in the bed. Okay? The little girl crying her eye out to come to me. She wouldn't stay in the room with her daddy. Before
Super
1986. Huh?
I say you super Grammy.
Mom, and why you think I had to say excuse me? Because I had to go get her, because everybody in the neighborhood could hear her screaming, but I want Nanny. Hold on. Give me a second.
Phone went off. You also tell me which page you're on, please. My phone had died.
Retirement age.
Retirement age. Okay, all right, I see.
All right. Chanel, you want to just pick up right there for me? I have to go try to take it to her daddy. She gonna have to scream in the room because I can't. She being mischievous now. She on top of the dresser. So I have to go take it to her daddy. So you can continue that for me, please.
All right. Retirement age. Retirement after the normal retirement age is classified as late retirement. Before 1986, many employees were able to specify a mandatory retirement age of 70 years or higher. All workers could be forced to retire if they had not already done so. However, a mandatory retirement age is now prohibited for most jobs. Thus, many pension plans experience instances in which workers do not retire at the normal age specified for the plan. All qualified plans specify a normal retirement age. The earliest age at which employees can retire and receive pension benefits. Often, the normal retirement age is specified to be a particular age. Other times, the normal retirement age is whatever age an employee is when he or she completes a specific number of years of service. Many pension plans provide special early retirement options. Various age and service requirements usually exist before early retirement benefits are payable. The early pension benefit is usually at a reduced level to reflect the increased cost to the plan of early retirement.
Okay, Chanel, hold on. Okay, so in most companies today, you have to be 10 years to be fully vested. How much years, Ms. Cartwright, do you have to be working at Scotia, I think, to be fully vested? I know where I worked, it was 10 years. Miss Knowles,
I think we are 15.
For what? 15 years to be vested?
Yeah. Yeah.
BOB is 5.
No. Fidelity is
10
years.
BOB is 5 years?
Yeah.
Whoa.
5 years for pension?
Oh, yeah, fully vested.
Yeah, you know, when I work at the offshore bank, it was 5 years. 5 years.
Yes.
Well, that's
great.
Yeah. When I
Mhm.
worked at the offshore bank, it was 5 years. So I spent 7 years there. So when I left, I took my portion and theirs.
Done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I must have put 2 more months there. Are you working after you invested?
And that's what it is, just when you're fully vested, hey, give me your loan and mine. Okay, just pass it along. you know.
What
But
sense
a
it is
lot
you
of
working
people,
after that? And you could get
yeah,
all.
but a lot of people still they still, I guess too, because they're not aware that the bank can't hold their pension. So they be like, oh God, if I leave now, they take in some of my pension because I still have this little loan. So a lot of people still there because of that. Because a lot of people don't know. And then a lot of people there because we had some people, I
Some
know there
people
was
just like to work.
yeah, and then some people who have to, they want to stay
Yeah.
beyond the time and they just stay. They be like, the man tell
Some
them
people,
65 and they be looking for an extra 3 years.
and because some people really don't like, they don't know what they would do after their job.
Yeah,
That's just what it is.
agreed. But like I would say to anybody now, because of COVID and things, people should be one. They always tell you that you have to have more than one career.
Yeah.
Because COVID taught everybody that one career don't work. Most of the persons in the hotel, persons in different job, they realized that a lot of persons became redundant. Restaurants, a lot of people closure. So you have to have another career, whether you do little farming and sell or you do little hairdressing, makeup, something. And the one thing we all know, women gonna always come for that weave, and women gonna always come to get them nails done. So they some of the things that you could look at, and if you have your home, you don't even have to pay overhead fees like light and water and all the rest, because guess what? You could add on a little piece right to your house or use whatever in your house and have clients. So I
Yep.
guess it's just thinking out the box. And like you say, a lot of times people don't know what they'll do when they retire because they didn't ever make a plan. They just totally committed to the man's job. And so they just never put a plan in place to say, I'm going to retire eventually because there's some young person who need to take my job. And people just don't look at life that way. Because like when I left, a lot of people was like, Andrea, everybody was shocked when I said I was leaving. I was like, I'm leaving. I used to tell them that all the time. So they used to say, when they see me cleaning up my desk, they used to say, Andrea's cleaning her desk again. She's leaving. I used to tell them all the time I used to be cleaning my desk and making sure ain't nothing in there that don't need to be in there. And they used to always say, boy, Andrea, say she leaving again. Andrea leaving again. She's cleaning her desk. And then one day when I just, like I said, I was home that morning, I didn't go to work. I just didn't feel it. And I call in sick. And that night I just say, I can't do this no more. I'm too stressed. I can't do this no more. I just put in I did my resignation. I sit to the computer and just type it up. I said, I can't do it anymore. I'm just too stressed out. And I went to work. My boss didn't come to work that day. So I wait for him the next day and then I give it to him. He was surprised too, but I just couldn't do it. It was either the job or me. I was just too stressed out, and it didn't worth it to me. My health and my well-being was more important to me than making that money. What is
Feeling
use?
the same way
What
right
is
now.
use? Right? What is what is use? What how is the money going to be used to me if I'm not well? And I have to take that same money to go to the doctor because I just stress myself out and it create
Exactly.
a lot of different issues in my life,
But do you
So
realize
I
some
made
people
it.
don't even enjoy their pension after they leave
They
the
don't.
job? Like some people end up dying.
That's what I mean. They do. And that's why I say I made the choice to leave. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just was tired. So I've been March 31st made me a yes since I left. So I'm grateful and I'm happy and I'm in a better place. And
I tell them every
but
day.
a
I
lot of
kind of
people
draft my resignation
Yeah, but like I say, a lot of people just want to work. It's like you'll see government workers who retire from the police force or whatever. You'll see them still going by. You'll see them still being reservists. I'm like, Jesus said, you don't put in all the years. Why are you still working?
Sure.
You know, why are you still working?
But some people have a lot of debt. They can't afford to retire. They have to work to pay off them.
Hold on now. You don't know you only could work past 65. So you shouldn't, the bank shouldn't be giving you no debt beyond 65.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Right. So what debt? Because the bank should not give you debt. And I know some banks don't give you loan once you hit 60. So
once you hit 60, once you hit, let's say you come there by 50, they ain't giving you no loan.
Unless you could pay it off in 2-3
It depends
years.
on the amount. Yeah.
okay. Unless it's cash secured.
Right.
Chanel, what
another
age
thing,
but
the cash secured thing. We got a customer came in. I think she retired now from government or BTC or something like that. Something. She put a pension up, cash secured. I think it's a pension, I'm sure. She put the money up, cash secured, secured loan. So I booked a loan. I ask her now. I say, okay, it's a cash secured loan. The lady retired. How is she gonna pay this loan, even though it's cash secured? Like, where's she getting money from to pay this loan back? Like, nobody even thought to say, well, what? They was like, why are you asking that question? I was like, what you mean, why are you asking that question? You understand?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
A lot of times people.
Yes, you have a cash secured loan, but how are you going to pay your monthly payment? Yes, the money is ours. You can't pay it, but where you getting that money from if you're retired? You know, money coming in.
Yeah, they get pension from, they don't really get national insurance like that. They may get a little 200 or 100 and something, but their money comes from the treasury. So they get a pension from the treasury. They get money every month from the treasury. Yeah. So government workers, yeah, the treasury pays them. Yeah. They get money from the treasury. Huh?
BTC?
I didn't hear what you say.
BTC workers as well?
Yeah, BTC.
Yeah, all of them too. Yeah, they get a pension. And even too, you know, like hotel workers, as long as they've contributed a certain amount, they get a pension too, because my sister she worked at Nassau, the yacht club. And every month they give her, must see $200 and something for her pension. So she get that from them. Plus she gets something from national insurance.
So tell me something. When you retire and you collect your pension, they don't give you a lump sum. They pay you monthly.
No, when government workers retire, they get a gratuity for the number of years, I think. So they get a gratuity, which we will look at as a pension. So they get a gratuity when they retire, once they work to the age either 30 or 35 years or 65. They which one come first? Yeah, they get a gratuity. And then government pay them a certain amount every month. Yeah, but they get a gratuity when they're leaving. Yeah. But they still get money from the treasury, and they also get something from national insurance, but it isn't much. Yeah.
Smith, before we move on, let me say this. Like where I work, if I know persons were saying some people can't get loans 60 plus. But if they're able to get a printout, a letter from their job or NIB to state how much their pension is going to be after they retire, we assess them on that amount. And if they're able to qualify, then they are granted the loan.
Agreed, because I've seen like where I work at where I do my contract job at Omni Flash Cash, that's what they do too. And I've seen where I look at several files where customers actually they actually get a letter from their job, like be it BPL, be it BTC. It shows that they retire, but they get a pension of this amount every month, and it comes to the company. Yeah, they do. Yeah, some people still do. They still can get a loan like that. Yeah, so they still give loans like that. Chanel, what do they do at Fidelity? Do they do that for pension persons who are pensionable, who's left?
If persons who are pensionable and they leave Fidelity, you're asking what do they do in terms of what?
I mean, if Fidelity would give, like, persons who worked in government and they getting a pension, would Fidelity give only a cash secured loan? Would they give any loan?
Only cash secured.
Right, but they would still use,
Yeah.
they can still get a loan from Fidelity using a cash secured loan, even getting, and they can pay from their pension.
Right, yeah. But
Okay.
if it's not cash secured, then no, you have to be gainfully employed.
Okay.
And then we go on the consensus that your pension is for your everyday survival. Your
Okay.
debt, you should not be in debt in your retirement age. So
Okay.
that's the
Right.
standard that we are guided by.
What is the maximum age Fidelity goes to for persons coming to get a loan, be you a government employee?
Well,
What is
all
the
of the loans should be matured by the age of 60.
okay.
For a new customer, if they're 50, based on their credit score and their position and their salary and their total debt, then I can propose an application. But that
Okay.
loan would have to be matured by, or the term would have to be at least 9.5 years, the most.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you stop, Chanel?
I have one more paragraph for retirement ages.
Okay.
All right. So unless the early retirement benefit is reduced to its full actual equivalent, a company will have to pay additional money into the plan to pay for the increased costs associated with early retirement. By making appropriate assumptions about interest and mortality rates, actuaries can compute the reduced early retirement benefit that is mathematically equivalent to the benefit payable at the plan's normal retirement age. That's the last
Right.
part.
Okay, thanks. And also like we know, early retirement, like I said before, for anybody, as long as you're gonna take early retirement, government before a couple years ago, a person who retired at the age of 60, they would have gotten 89% of the amount that the insurable amount that national insurance would pay you for. But when they saw so many people taking early retirement, they said no. So now they've dropped it so low that they want, because they know a lot of people don't live till no 65. So what they do now, they say, if you want to retire at 60, they're only going to pay you 65% of the insurable amount. And they know that's not as much. So they say, well, you're just taking that 35% loss. So a lot of people, that's why a lot of people tend to want to just stay in on jobs, being unhappy and tired, because they said that if I leave, I'm only going to get 65% of my insurable amount, what national insurance insurable amount is. And, they take the last 10 years salary, and that's how they work your insurable amount. They work it on that, your last 10 years salary. And a lot of times we look at it that they looking at our salary, but they don't. They have an insurable amount on their part, would they work your contributions on. And like I say, it's worked on your contributions and your last 10 years salary. And so when they don't take into consideration all your contributions, what happens then is that you short, and that's what happened to me. Like I told you, they took from 1984 to 1996, they have no contributions done for me. So I had to go back to Royal Bank to say, I work with them, and now they have to go and rework my benefits, And so that could take another year, because it took a year for them to work out and say, this is what I should get. And that's when I look at them and say, you all have to be kidding though. And so now they have to work it out. And, you know, I ain't gonna be the good person this time. I gonna go to persons. I gonna have to be the villain now to go to full rank to somebody who I know. I'm going through that foolishness no more with them waiting the whole year. I gonna have to talk to somebody who I know there, who are positioned. So that's what I gonna have to do. That's the only way. They took a whole year to say, okay, this is what we can give you. And then I look at them and I say, well, what happened to my 12 years that you all ain't accounted for? Where's that? What 11, 12 years? So what happened to them? 11 years, 12 years contribution. You know how much contribute that is? I said, well, what happened to that? That need to be added on to the contribution that y'all say I've made after that, where, you know, y'all need to work it out. So like the woman look at me and say, well, that probably take another year. So I'm going to have to not be the nice person, and I'm going to have to go somewhere else to get that sorted out. So then I guess they won't like me too much, because the persons who I'm dealing with, I'm not getting any response from them. They don't answer the phone. They gave me their cell, I message, and he's act like he never even see my message. So guess what? I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna have to go. And I told them, if they don't sort me out, I'm gonna just have to report them to the minister. And so I'm gonna have to do what I have to do, because like like national insurance, I can't even see them asking for nothing, because they just they in their job, they just like, oh, I doing y'all a favor, y'all go away, you know. And so their service is just terrible, you know. And I speak from experience. One person would say to you, oh, yes, it's done, it's finished. Then you call again, the next person say, oh, that hasn't even gone to audit yet. It's like, what kind of craziness is this? Yeah, so that's national insurance. What happens if you put 30 years?
I put in a claim now for a month.
A month? Well, child, that ain't no time. Somebody put in a claim from October and say, when they call the person say, oh, that is ready. When he call back again, say, oh, I'm calling to see when I can pick up. The person say, that has not even been approved yet. So
they tell me, say, call it. They tell me, email them in 2 weeks. They say it's been sent for registration, email them back in 2 weeks. I email them back in the 2 weeks, not even a response. I call somebody to check on it. They ain't even put it in the register.
Yeah.
They don't want to work. They're only sitting there to collect a paycheck. They work for government. That's all.
They don't want to do nothing. You go there, everybody, all they want to do is be makeup and dress up, and that's it. And they bad customer service.
Sure.
So service so awful.
They just ain't do it now. My government in power. They just and they
back down. Yeah.
Oh my,
every time everybody government come in power, that's what they think it's all about.
Do you realize everybody just run over
and Miss
couldn't do these things when the FNM was in power?
Yeah, no, man, they was doing this all the time.
No, you know. Quiet. No, boy. When the FNM was in power,
that long time.
No,
my co-workers, when they put in a claim, they'll be getting that in a week. When the FNM was, they just be on their P's and Q's.
Man, they must see had a hookup, because let me tell you, when I put in my claim in 2020,
but that was COVID.
Let me tell you, you know when I get that claim back? I get that June after I left Fidelity. I had to go get the people check to them.
That was COVID time. That excusable, but Charlie, you wouldn't hear a pin drop in this government office when they're in power.
You think so? All of them the same way.
Yes, ma'am. Change, okay.
Like I say, well, the PLP needs to know.
I'm serious as a judge.
Well, PLP,
everybody is fine there. Everybody's fine their strength when the PLP come in power. Look at Lincoln today, going down to the Prime Minister's office for Crown Land. Why didn't go on to municipal that?
They know better. They know Menace was not the people's person. They don't like
I finish. No, what y'all fail to understand is that they know when the PLP is in, they're gonna feed them, even if they give
Right.
them 2 fish. Whereas
Right.
the FMM, you gotta work, they could teach you how to fish. So I don't want to have to learn how to do nothing. I've already been a master at getting this my way. So why you come here to change that? That's a change that we Bahamians don't want.
But like I say, it's so sad when we as a people have to be talking about, oh, my party and power, and so yeah, you know,
Ain't none of
victimizing.
us my party.
Child, let me tell you something.
Ain't none, because I still gotta
When
go
they
to work
come in power,
every
it's
day.
only exactly. They can be my party when I ain't gotta work.
Thank you.
Well, like I say, I don't be worried, but none of them. That's my motto. Yeah.
I
But
still
national
gotta work.
insurance is just something. And if you work 30 years and you retire before 65, you can get the same 65%. The same 65% you'll get. It isn't
But they're
like,
forcing you to retire, even though you're not at retirement age. So
yeah, but you know, some people they said you can retire when you put in 30 years, or you can retire at 65. So some people choose to say, oh, I hit 30 years, I retiring. So if you retire at 30 years and you're only 60, well, you know, if you retire at 30 years and you're only 55, you ain't getting no pension. Pension don't come to you until you're 60. So you can go find the next job.
You can
I
get
have
your
a friend.
pension at 60, you know.
Pardon me?
You can get your pension at 60, but they wouldn't give you you wouldn't get the full pension.
That's what she's saying. You only get 65%.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who was on the Defense Force at a certain level in the Defense Force. He was on that he was a teenager. So he had retired at 50. He got a whole 10 years to wait. The government said you can no longer work in this entity. So what should he do? He's sitting around like, okay, so how am I supposed to eat? Because I can't get my pension.
Yeah.
And my level of
private job.
But then he failed the plan. I mean,
no. His mortgage is already paid off.
No, but you're saying
don't have
what
no
he's
bills
supposed to
like
do.
that. But the bottom line is, I'm still young enough and employable enough. But you have these police officers who they barely could raise their head to look up, who come back as reservists. They collect a salary and a half. How do you fix that? The system is broken. Instead of you all throwing rocks at each other, look at the fix. You hear the problem in that market, fix the problem.
Oh, that'll never. What? That's just a government sector for you. And when you go to fix the problem, they can tell you that's how the government sector is.
No, that's not how.
Coming.
Look here, you still have on the books. If you drive it in a horse and carriage and a buggy, you have to do this. That should not be on the books.
Yeah.
They have on the books. Do you ever go look at your law books? I know, they still have on it that in order for you to have a bicycle on the road, that's supposed to be licensed. Where do you go and license those bikes? I intentionally bought a bicycle for my grandchild. You know what I did? I took it to the police station. I said, where do you go and license and register this bike, please? And the police looked at me like I was stupid. And I pulled out the thing. I say, here it is in your law books. So if he's riding on the road, can you give him a ticket? By law, they can.
What?
By law, they can. But by practice, they cannot, because you have no entity to receive the money or to issue the permit or the license.
Right.
So we have retarded, overeducated people leading us, and they're not reading the laws. They only there to throw rocks at each other and create more havoc.
That's all they do in the House of Assembly. It's like, I just be like, why aren't y'all tackling the problem at hand? It's always some issue, some this, some that. And like we say, and nobody try to come in and change go through the laws, see the things that need to be changed. Nobody does this. Everybody just like I always say, okay, the PLP when they get fat for 5 years, the FNM when they get fat for 5 years. It's like, what is it all about? You know, a lot of things that need to change. Look at our laws on the book, things that need to change. They don't quabble over that. They just make noise over unnecessary stuff. They make noise about things that really need to change. They don't, you know. And like I say, with all these government entities, like say for instance, like we were talking about national insurance. National insurance is a place where you go there, like just the people out to lunch, they gossiping in one corner and you there waiting. And I ain't the kind of person, because if I there and you gossiping, I say, miss, you don't come to work yet, or they walking in with their breakfast at 9 o'clock. They just don't check. They have you sitting there till they don't eat their breakfast.
Now Commonwealth Bank, tell us when the door open, you better have your, no, you have to be there just at 8:30, the doors open, you better be able to function. But they're the same ones who come into the bank and say, oh, I've been here, no bitch, I've been, and where you work? No bitch. One customer did that to me when I saw on the road one day, I said, you come back and come up by complaining, your ass don't work where you work, so come back in there again, see if I'll serve you. I'm the one.
I agree. That's how they are. That's what it is. That's what they do. They be like, yeah, it is. Because like I say, you go to any government office and they act as if like, oh, okay. I remember when I went to get registered, the woman, I'm looking like, well, hold on. These people just coming in here. They see this line so long and they coming in with breakfast. What is this? And I talking just like that. And that's why I say, until government do something, national insurance, the way national insurance is right now, it is just awful. Yes, the passport office, all of that. National insurance
don't go to the passport office and don't know somebody. Don't eat your lunch. I've been in there one day in my uniform, and all I said to them, all of y'all got loans at Commonwealth Bank. See if I don't get served in here. I got my passport in 2 days, and I paid them $50. Because you always want your loan in 24 to 48 hours.
Now, we could talk for the NIB, but I must say the passport office has made tremendous improvement.
Yeah, they have. I ain't gonna lie, they have. They have.
Yes, they really have, because I
was highly impressed when I renewed some passports, and I did it from my computer. Yes. And then within 5 to 7 days, my only passport was ready. My own was, I was really impressed.
Yeah.
Okay. You mean during it through the My Gateway?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember. I don't think it was My Gateway at the time, but they did. They
have their own portal.
Right. Yeah, I did. I uploaded everything what they needed. Scanned everything, a photo, passport photo, everything. Once you have the electronic passport, though, the e-passport, you can do that remotely. Everything, literally everything you can do online. Yeah.
Well, like I know too, yeah, because I did my police record because I don't have a visa. I put in my visa appointment from last year. I just getting to go next month. So I don't have a visa. So I put in my police record, and when I must see Sunday one day. When I left, I collected it today, you know. So my gateway is really working, you know.
I'm not saying all of the entities are bad or they didn't try to improve. During COVID, a lot of them did improve, but this right here, this change in switching of governments and stuff, persons are my cousin, she worked at a where you get your driver's license, and they take it for granted the fact that they're telling people, oh, you have to make an appointment. No, it's y'all need to work. Y'all need to work.
Yeah, that's what they're telling you now. That you have to make an appointment to go get your license, get your car license. Yeah. So they have it on My Gateway 2A that you have to go on. So you have to. So I can't go to no like the one out there, road traffic, I can't go to none of them unless I have an appointment.
Yep.
I think you can go to Carmichael. I don't think Carmichael books appointment. Carmichael,
Yes,
I think
they
it's
do.
walk-in.
I live right out
No,
here, and
I
they
think
tell a woman, yes.
on Nassau Street is required, not Nassau Street, but that is West Bay Street.
West
by
Bay
the
Street.
Valid.
Mhm.
That location is appointment only and cashless. But if you don't have an appointment and they don't have much people there, then they would allow you to do that. But I know one time I didn't know you had to make an appointment. I just drove straight up there. And then the guy said, oh, you have to have an appointment. But he said, you know what? Ain't nobody really here. So go through. So I think that particular location, you need an appointment. But the other Complex Road and by the sports center, you don't need an appointment.
Okay, all right. That's
Yeah.
good.
I just took
Okay,
a
let's talk-
government.
Yeah, but like I say, I think national insurance need to improve. They have to. Like I say, they so out to lunch. It's like they doing you a favor. And like I say, when you see me, when I'm going, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a letter. I wrote a letter to the claims people, but now I can write a letter to the minister because it is just deplorable. And I'm a kind of person, I don't sit down. I remember when I went to my son in Pittsburgh, man, my flight, they canceled my flight, and because that's COVID and people wasn't working. Well, I write letter on everybody, and they refunded me my money back. What? They was calling me and all. Same thing with my son in Canada. The customer service rep, she was so awful and mean, and tell us, well, we had to stay in Toronto because the flight left Prince Edward Island late. And so when we hit Montreal, the plane had already left to go to Toronto. So when we hit Toronto, the plane already left to come to Nassau. Well, shall I write up that one? The woman tell us, say, oh, we sleep in the airport, or we don't give no money for lunch and all the rest of that. We don't pay for hotel. Well, child, I look over there at her name. I write her name down and I report everybody. And they tell me anytime I travel, I get 25% off. Don't bother with me. That's the money I pay for that hotel. And that's what happens because we don't report persons because everybody, but they government in power. Well, guess what? You won't want to bother with me because I have a letter to the editor. No, we have to make our government, we have to make persons who work in these government agencies accountable. And until we expose them, they continue to do the same thing until we call them out. We have to call them out. And until we call them out, that's what it is. That's what it is because we're not calling them out.
That's why I was saying it's their mindset, because see, these government workers, they under the impression that they can't get fired. So seeing that they can't get fired, they're going to do what they want to do regardless.
Right.
That's why they can bring
But
their
that's a
breakfast in
fact.
your
They
face.
can't get fired, and that's been a running joke for years.
You writing a letter saying nothing's going to happen. I could bring my breakfast and I will eat it.
Then that's why I go to write a letter to the editor. And when I write a letter to the editor, would they like that? Would the government like that? No, they won't. And the editors like publishing stuff like that. When you write to the editors.
I missed the punch for that.
Hold on 1 second for me.
I remember when Martha let us sit down and teach.
No, honey, not in the class. You can't do that. You have to be pretty like a princess.
Honey, you have to do what?
Girl, I got princess.
Go to your daddy, girl. Jesus. Where's that? Come go to your daddy. No, not that, sweetie. Come, let your daddy go get you a chair. Come on. Go get your daddy get you a chair. Come on, honey. Now you have to teach, sweetie. Come go in the bed and lay down.
I so grab my millionaire here. Jesus Christ.
The girl full of my hair with grease. Well, Jesus.
You have to be pretty too.
Come on, this little girl. I didn't even know she kept my grease and she just putting it all up in my hair. I didn't even know she was doing that. Jesus.
Oh, buddy, she want you to be a princess. That's what she said.
I swear.
I have
She
that
will
same
go to
thing. My
daddy.
girl always want to be the princess.
Oh my
They want
God,
Daddy,
she
to
will
be
go to
cool.
daddy. Mm-mm.
daddy don't come.
Yeah, but
Oh,
like I say, we have to make them accountable, and because we don't, that's what happens to us because we choose to say, "Oh, that's just government." No, okay. Yeah, I report everybody. I don't care. Yeah, I don't
Bahamas
care.
Air was one of the worst back in the day. They get a little better. I know I wrote a long 3-page letter, got my doctor in Cleveland Clinic to write a letter. You know, when you buy your ticket, you can't change it or it's a fee. But I had a medical, so I was in a hospital. I was in Cleveland Clinic for 3 months. So when I came out, I still had to do therapy. So when I came to go to the airport to use the ticket, they tell me I can't use the ticket. I said, yes, I can. I have a medical. So this means if the flight isn't full, I can use it. Child, this woman carried, y'all take y'all this, and then she carry on by. I recorded. So I wrote everything she said, sent it to her boss, and I sent it to the minister. Oh, she got, well, I didn't know at the time. I knew one of the big managers. She said, why didn't you call me? I said, I'm not calling nobody. She can be
Thank
accountable
you.
for her job. I say, her ass need to come back to Nassau work because she ain't doing nothing over there because she's sitting down with her fat head and she making people very miserable. I said,
Yep.
now I was in the airport with a trach in my throat, could barely talk, and she's stressing me out. No. And she can tell me, but I have to sit there and figure out how I can find the money. Oh, and by the way, you can't carry those liquids on. I said, Mom, I'm literally hooked up to a drip, but you have to stay here. I said, oh no, I don't. She was back and forth with me. I said, okay, you know, I told my sister, take me back. Remember, my sister wrote a long dissertation to the general manager when I left. They said, and where are you staying? I gave them the hotel. They paid for the hotel for another week, and then they flew me back home free. And I tell them they
Yep.
need to bring her back home. That chick was working in Nassau for a couple of months, and she left the airline. You don't do that. The pen is mightier than the sword, you know.
Agreed. That's what we don't.
Nigga, I
That's what's
started.
wrong with us
We
because
don't
we
like to
don't do
write.
anything.
We don't write.
We don't do anything, and that's why people, persons in the government ministries do what they do because we don't do anything, and that's why I say with national
The younger
insurance right
people,
now, it's like terrible, and like
no.
Mhm.
This new group of young people, they ain't playing, but they ain't playing with the government now. You can't throw
That's
water at them
me.
and tell them that's oil. You can't do that to them. They writing, they
Yep,
exercising their rights, and I'm happy that they
agreed.
are now doing it. The 1% of us who was doing it before, you have a bigger pool. They're not staying on the jobs taking the one garbage. They don't care.
They
You
don't.
educate them over there, they move in. They ain't gonna work for you, and they ain't gonna give what we, the older person, sector and the sector, gonna give. No. So pension don't mean nothing. They know they're learning how to invest, so they can create their own pension. And
Agreed.
that's sad that the government is. And one young lady tell the government, say, y'all will get my mommy $200, and this how long she was working for y'all.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it is. Yeah. Benefits and contributions limits. By law, the annual defined benefit pensions for newly retiring individual is limited to a specified dollar amount that is adjusted each year as average wage increase. As we know, whatever our salary is, and we say we're contributing 5%, so 5% of whatever our salary is monthly goes towards our contribution monthly for our pension. And like I say, the bank would, or the company would also match it with, some companies match it with the same 5%, but you can also put an involuntary amount in. So you can have a 10% pension by putting a voluntary amount. And then you can have the one that you actually, you invest your 5% and the company match your 5%, but they won't match the voluntary one. They won't match that. For the defined contribution, the yearly contribution to the plan is limited, not the annual pension. Currently, annual contributions are limited to the lesser of the 100% of that person's salary, or 41,000. Also, only the first 205,000 in earnings can be considered in either the benefits or the contribution formula. The significance of these limits is primarily important for highly paid employees. Now, them people who make good money, yeah, that's good for them. Vesting, and like I say, we talked about vesting. We know that once you're there for a certain number of years, you're vested. If you don't reach 10 years, like Ms. Knowles said, Bo Knowles said that Bank in the Bahamas is 5 years. Like I say, when I worked at the offshore, it was 5 years. So when I hit my 5 years, they say, girl, I stayed till 7. So that was fine. Yeah. The degree of which a plan participate pension rights are non-fertable is calling vesting. Regards, boy, this piece is so small.
Regardless
Regardless,
of whether,
yeah, continue for me, Miss Brown, because this
regardless
piece,
of whether, oh no, it's tiny, I can see it. Regardless of whether the employee continues working for a particular employer, the vesting provision in a pension plan are relevant only for the contributions or benefit associated with employees' contribution. The employee's contribution are always fully refundable with interest when terminating increment. The most common vesting provision is to have full vesting take place after 5 years, also known as the 5-year cliff vesting. Prior to that, workers who terminate employment are not vested at all and have no pension rights under the plan. Over time, the laws governing vesting have been modified several times, making it possible for more employees to achieve full vested pensions rights much more quickly than was often the case in the past. This fact and the probability that many employees will change jobs several times during their working careers make it likely that many future retirees will collect retirement income from many employers' plans.
now I don't know with some companies I know where I retired from. I'm not sure if you could just leave your pension there and they pay you something every month. Because some people do that. Some people opt to say, I'm not taking, some companies, Scotia doing that. Scotia, who work in the Scotia? Scotia does that. If you don't take your
I
plan,
worked at Scotia, but now they stopped that. When
they stop
you
it because they really do a lot of people in with that.
Yeah, you have to get paid by the month. Person's leaving after
Right.
July
That's
of
what I
last
said.
year. You can't have the lump sum anymore.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, I thought you said they stopped that. I know they stopped giving you the lump sum because now remember there were so many persons who left Scotia who walk away with $1 and $2 million because when they had
Yes.
yeah, they had them in that kind of pension plan, man. There was
I
people
hear
walk
about that
away from
one.
Scotia.
Yeah,
They walk
yeah,
away
but
from
now
Scotia because I had someone in my class and she walked away from Scotia with plenty dollars. And that's
yeah,
why they
now.
stop it. Yeah, now you get a monthly pay.
And then one time ago, our pension used to be held in Canada.
Uh-huh.
From they in 2020, no, 2018, we changed over to Kalina. So persons like me who been there before 2018, we have 2 pensions now. We have a pension for Canada, and then from 2018 and up, the rest are pension with Kalina.
Okay. So everyone who retires, they no longer will not get a lump sum, they will get a pension every month?
Yes, they will get a pension every month.
I don't think that's fair.
Despite
why
their
we had
age?
a lot. Despite their age, that's why we had a lot of people leave too before the
Yeah, I
cutoff.
heard a lot of people took that lump sum pension thing.
Yeah, a lot of people took the lump sum and say, let me go, I could find a job somewhere else. But you know, at the end of the day, I still have my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, if you leave, you're only gonna get a monthly payment.
Yeah, monthly payment.
But that's why people work to get that lump sum money. Give me money.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how it is now. So anybody who live in Scotia or retiring, they have to take a monthly pension?
Yes, yes.
That's kind of rough. That's kind of sad. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of sad. Ms. Cartwright, you want to read the disability provisions for me, please?
Okay. What page is that on? Sorry, I have it. Pension plans may provide special benefits if an employee dies or becomes disabled before retirement. Employees who have achieved at least some degree of vesting will have death benefits available to a surviving spouse, either a lump sum or a survivor's pension. If the pension is funded using life insurance, then an extra benefit may be available. With respect to disability,
you all have that attached to y'all insurance, like when you have insurance, like health insurance with, I know where I used to work, you had the health insurance and you had a certain amount of life insurance attached to it. If something happened, if you died, they got, I think, a year's salary.
I think that's a rider.
Yeah, well,
insurance rider. I think we have that.
We have that, and we also have, if it's accidental, you get 2 times 2 years.
Okay. Well, I never even read what it was all about. I just know that they used to take it out and that it was a benefit that if I died, my family would get, or who I made beneficiary would get a year's salary. Because I know we had a young lady who had died, and she was so young and she died, and you know, her family, her husband would have gotten that. Yeah, she was so young. Yeah, died so young.
Oh, this patron is fucking disgusting.
Pardon me? You can continue, Miss Knowles, for me, please. Miss Cartwright, sorry.
With respect to disability, some pension plans make no special provisions and treat employee termination due to disability in the same way as any other termination. Future pension is able only if the participant achieved vested pension rights before the termination. In other plans, the pension may become payable immediately if the employee becomes disabled. For those employers electing to provide disability benefits apart from their pension plans, a decision must be made regarding the continued accrual of pension rights during disability.
Well, what page that is? Well, they must say, give me that page.
I know, because I have that either.
I get that.
It's on 182. I have 2 pension provisions.
So Charlie, give me that page. I have that.
I have 1.
And then I have plan termination insurance.
I have that.
Yes, 2 disability provisions on page 182.
Okay, my book different from y'all on. Read this last part for me, the plan termination insurance.
Okay. Plan termination insurance. Coverage is mandatory for and limited to qualified defined benefit plans. a federal agency called the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, PBGC, was established to oversee this insurance. Premiums for the coverage are based on the number of participants and the degree of funding for particular plans. If plan funds are insufficient to cover promised benefits to employees, PBGC takes over and pays the benefits subject to various limitations.
Okay, thank you. Now they have deferred profit sharing plan. I remember when I worked at Finco, we didn't have like I told you before, we didn't have like a pension which we contributed to. Instead, they have here ESOP, but we had RESOP. So at every payday, we can invest 10% of our salary into this RESOP plan. And so when you leave or you retire or you leave, you're able to get, they give you interest on it and they match it too. So you are able to get your money out of RESOP. This one here says ESOP. In most deferred profit sharing plan, the employees expected that the direct link between profits and contribution will motivate employees to work efficiently. An even stronger motivational device is possible when employees' contribution is qualified plans are made in the form of employees' common stock. Two versions of the approach are stock bonus plan and the employee stock option plan, ESOP. ESOP usually invest in stocks issued by the employer, whereas stock bonds plan have more flexibility regarding the plan asset. Like I say, some companies, like I know working at Fidelity, because I was in management, and then you have some persons who are supervisors, like the company at the end of like their fiscal their year end in December, and then when they do appraisal, you get your review and you get your raise or your bonus or whatever in April. So most managers and supervisors or persons who did well, the bank would give them a certain amount of stocks, Fidelity stocks. So you'd get that, and then you can either get the cash or you can put it in a brokerage account. So yeah, stuff like that happened where I worked at Fidelity. So I was always privileged to get some shares. Yeah. Then we have section 401k plan. That's, the US, that's their savings plan. Similar to a thrift plan that offers the added advantage of an immediate income tax deduction for employees' contribution, known as cash or deferred arrangement or a 401k plan. After IRC code that provides for it can be structured in several ways. Usually they allow employees to choose the type of asset in which they wish their account to be invested. Investment selection can be modified periodically as goals or market condition changes. In many plans, employers match employee contribution. All contribution go tax deferred until distributed to the employee. And like we talked about it before, like I said, when I was at Fidelity, at the end of each year, they would give you this form to say whether you want to put more into the high risk or mutual funds or this balance income target fund. And so you are able to choose what you want, or fixed income. And if you wanted to move some out of here and put some in there, they would send it out. So at the end of the year, you able to say, and then before the end of January, you had to have it in to say, this is my changes. So I know the company that I work for allowed you to do that also. Extra rules govern 401k plans with respect to income tax deduction from elective deferral. Each year, the plan must pass special tests designed and guarded against favoring high-paid employees. The employer can avoid this annual testing by designing the plan so that it passes at least one of the safe harbor provisions specified in the IRC. The 401k plan, employees age 50 and older are allowed to make specified additional pre-tax contribution above the normal elective deferred limit called catch-up contributions. The rules regarding distributions of 401k funds before the age of 59 and a half are somewhat restricted. Some provisions for early distributions are made if an employee experiences extreme financial hardship and other resources are not reasonably available. Vesting rules apply to limit trip plans and 401k plans. For these plans, the maximum period for deferred vesting is 3 years rather than 5. Employees are also 100% vested in their own contributions. So here we see once you hit 59, but does anybody pension allow you to withdraw from your pension before you retire?
Yeah.
Your pension does that?
Percentage, we have to they allow us a percentage at a certain time. I think it's every so often they tell us when they can take something out.
Because I know when I worked at Fidelity, our Cayman branch was able to do that. So we had a lot of persons taking money out their pension accounts because that was the law in Cayman, so they could have do it. But I know here we couldn't do it. But in Cayman, persons were taking out their. Pardon me?
Social bank pension plans don't allow.
Don't allow you to do that, right? They allow you?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, because like I say, I'm surprised Miss Bo Knowles, y'all could do that. That's B.O.B.?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I know Fidelity didn't allow you to do it. Fidelity Bahamas didn't allow you to do it, but I know Fidelity Cayman, there was a law passed and they were able to do it. I don't know if they still can because they had a certain period of time to do it. Yeah, but they were able to do it.
Yeah. Like they just let us do it around Christmas time this year.
Because they're saying that persons who fall under have financial difficulties, they allow it to happen. So
no, I don't
that's
like
good.
With that, you can't just go and think of the period of time they allow you to do it.
Okay, well, that's still good. You know, instead of having to go to the bank to borrow, Emma go for personal.
So sign off the pension.
Miss Nan, can you read the last two portions for me, please?
Key off plans.
Yes, the KEO plan.
KEO plan. Okay. Designed for persons with self-employment income. Frequently, people with side jobs shelter part of their earnings in these plans. The tax-sheltered contributions and accumulating investment returns are not subject to current income taxation. The annual amounts that can be contributed and deducted from taxes are based on a person's income from self-employment, with the specific limits dependent on the type of KEO plan established. KEO plans can also be deferred profit sharing plans or defined benefit pension plans. Section 403B plans. In setting up a plan, an employee typically enters into a contract with the employer to reduce his or her contractual salary by the amount the employee wishes to save. The amount of contribution can be deducted from the employee's current taxable income. Investment income on the contributions accumulates tax-free until distribution. The maximum annual contributions are the same as for 401k plans.
Okay, so that completes chapter 11. I need y'all to say any concerns, any thing y'all want to discuss regarding the assignment, regarding the finals coming up. Now is the time to talk about it. Hello?
I don't have any concerns.
Anyone else?
I don't have any concerns either. I just waiting on the review paper.
Yeah, like I say, it will be given to y'all this week. And then, like I say, once everybody is, well, I'm going to start marking. So once everybody submit all their assignments, I will be able to give you your grade going into the final exam. So you'd know where you at going into the final exam. So like I said, we only had one quiz because like I say, because I know a lot of you not able to always go to BIFs, and to do a quiz at BIF, just to do a quiz, you have to go to BIFs to do the quiz too. I don't know the reason for it, but they changed it. So it was no longer being done online. So you had to go to BIFs to do it. So that's the reason why I give you more assignments and don't worry about the quiz. So we had one quiz and the others were assignments. So the quiz and assignment make up 20% of your grade. So we'll go from there. And then, the midterm is, I think it was 35 for the midterm. Yeah. So we'll see, and I don't think nobody should come out of the class with a lower than a B. Nobody should come out the class lower than a B. And like I say, the finals carry more weight. So you have to really focus on, getting a good grade in the finals also because it's a higher percentage. And like I say, with this class, risk management, the passing mark is very small, like 55% to get a C. Because like I say, the grading for the diploma, risk management and insurance is a diploma course. Business of banking is a certificate course. So because it's a certificate course, the passing mark is 65%, So with risk management, that's why I say nobody should get lower than a B. Yeah. So, but I won't give you any the review questions. Like y'all see even though some of y'all say I have a tricky question, but it will be everything that we went over. Most of the assignments which y'all have will come from those. So like Miss Knowles, Claudette Knowles says that you have to keep reading, go here, go there, go backwards here, go there. Yeah. So it helps y'all to, I guess, to still retain stuff when it comes to the final exam. But like I say, I don't need to have a class next week because we finished what we had to do. And like I say, you can go through I just put the credit rating in the back of the book. I'm not going to give you anything, but you can look at it and see how the rating is. And then if you even go on to Google and just look at credit rating of countries, you'd see the different credit rating of the different countries, see where the Bahamas is at, see where Jamaica, you're able to see all the countries in, up to date one. Yeah. But it was my pleasure to have taught you all, and I wish we could have had more fun like we had today, because everybody, like I say, when we talk about things that are live and living color, we're able to have more participation. But like I say, it was my pleasure and I pray that y'all learned something from this class. Yes. Miss Snow, Miss Burrows.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you as a teacher.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Okay. But like I say, I will send you all your stuff by the end of the week, and then before the finals, I will make sure y'all get your grades so you know what you're actually going into the finals with. So I look to see A's. Yeah. Okay. I'll take care.
Okay.
And
And the final exam is on the 19th, right?
Yes, ma'am. And it will be at Bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is our last class?
Yes, ma'am. Because we finished.
Yeah, the book finished.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
All righty. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
That's Lady. Time, Rocky. Hello? Go away. Hello? Yeah. Okay then. I think it's the class. All right. Make sure that's corrected, Bobby. And finish your thing because this the last quarter. Okay. All right. Okay. You look pretty, girl. I like her. Hmm?
What happened? Oh no! My ears put in the too. Oh,
Look at that.
it's just funny. My phone.
What you say? You like it? You look beautiful, honey. Wow.
Oh, I have to. That's the boy.
Beautiful, honey. Wow.
Oh, without you.
No, it's time for homework.
But,
Homework. Kyle. Homework.
yeah.
Get Rocky.